Jeff's Superscript is brought to you by Black Cat Comics and Collectibles, in my opinion, the best comic shop and clubhouse on the internet. Make sure to follow them at Black Cat Burbank on Instagram and ask them about their Stray Cats Club for special perks. Hi, I'm Jeff, and welcome to another one of my videos where I take a look at all the new comic books coming out on Free Comic Book Day, this upcoming Saturday, August the 14th, 2021. And I asked myself the question, what one free comic book would I request this week if I could request just one free comic book? Free Comic Book Day is an exciting, great day. It's great for comic book collectors because we can go to our local shops and we can get our hands on a free comic book or two. And in addition, it's really great for the local comic shops. For many of them, it's their biggest sales day of the year. And Lord knows that local comic shops always need our support. So I highly recommend that you check out your local comic shop this upcoming Saturday, pick up some free comic books, and support them maybe with an additional purchase or two. And let me tell you something, this Free Comic Book Day is giving you lots of reasons to want to go pick up free comic books this upcoming Saturday. We have an amazing Spider-Man Free Comic Book Day that's exciting. We have a Suicide Squad King Shark free comic book that looks like fun. We have a Vampirella Free Comic Book Day that looks really cool. It's a reprint of the first appearance of Vampirella with that great Alex Ross cover. We also have a Batman Free Comic Book Day. So these are just four kind of honorable mentions. But in this video, I'm going to talk about my 5 selections that I think are worth picking up, if at all possible. And then I will end with my 6th pick, which will be my just one book pick for this Free Comic Book Day. I believe a lot of these books are going to go quickly, so you might want to be at your local comic shop nice and early so that you get some of the hotter ones. But even if you don't get some of the hotter ones, there's lots of good ones out. Let's go ahead and start off this list by taking a look at the first book I want to mention, and that is Free Comic Book Day 2021, We Live, The Last Days, issue number 1. This is from Aftershock Comics. Here's the description. Before Tala and Hototo began their long journey, there was the beginning of the end of the earth as we know it. In the days after the bracelets fell to earth, a group of young friends embarked on a journey to find one of their own. In the Broken Lands, on the adventure of their lifetimes, these friends face the seedy world of bracelet diggers, the dark underground of criminals dealing life-saving bracelets to those who can afford it most. We Live is a title that I never got around to reading, but I heard really, really good things about it. People were really excited about this story. It's one of those ones that I think has a lot of potential to have life outside of comic books, and for that reason, this is an original story in this world, so it might be one you consider picking up. The next one I want to mention to you is Free Comic Book Day 2021, Star Wars, The High Republic Adventures, issue number 1 from IDW. Here's the description. Join Yoda, Buckets of Blood, and their Padawan learners as they go on an adventure to help maintain peace during the glory days of the Republic in a prelude to IDW's Star Wars, The High Republic Adventures series. Written by series architect Daniel Jose Older, this is the ideal entry into the world of the High Republic and a can't-miss story for fans. This will angle more toward the Star Wars The High Republic Adventures Volume 1 trade paperback, though Star Wars The High Republic Adventures 6 remains the start of a new story arc and should be supported within the back matter. Star Wars The High Republic is an incredibly successful initiative of an interconnected mega story told across books, comics, and magazines. We had record numbers for our first issue. They did, and then a lot of people dropped off on Star Wars The High Republic Adventures, and I don't know why. It was really entertaining, and it's Star Wars, and it's a whole new era, and I've said this in many of my videos if you've watched my videos before. These Star Wars High Republic Adventure books are ones to keep your eyes on. Star Wars stories are going to be coming forever, and they're going to need material for that, and they're going to be looking to places like this for it. This book, I don't know about its future spec potential, but you never know what tiny little nugget they're going to drop in there that might have value down the road. It's also probably going to be a pretty good read, so this is one that I would recommend picking up if at all possible. In addition, I have to mention this next one. It's Free Comic Book Day 2021 Star Wars, The High Republic, The Edge of Balance, and Guardian of the Wills. Issue number 1. This is from Viz Media, actually, interesting enough. Let me go ahead and read the description to you. The High Republic, a massive, interconnected, cross-publisher initiative focused on an all-new era of Star Wars storytelling. Centuries before the Skywalker saga, a new adventure begins. Guardians of the Wills, the Force is with me, and I am one with the Force. Presiding over the Kaibar Temple in Jedha, the Guardians of the Wills, Baze Malbus and Chirrut Mui, had hoped to maintain a peaceful balance despite the growing presence of the Empire in their holy city. Yet they struggled to stay true to the Force as stormtroopers threatened to take over. When a rebel named Saw Gerrera appears offering them a chance to help Jedha, Baze, and Chirrut, must decide if they're willing to compromise for peace or if Saw's plan is too dangerous to risk. Star Wars Guardians of the Wills introduces Baze and Chirrut before they met the rebellion members who turned the tide in the fight against the Empire in Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Writer John Sui and manga artist Sabaru bring the origin story of this fan-favorite duo to life in a new manga adaptation based on the novel by Greg Rucka. Okay, so these two characters were in Rogue One, a Star Wars story. They were two of my favorite characters, so I'm glad to see more stories around them. But in addition, like I said with the last book, I can apply all the same things to this one. You never know what little goodies, what little nuggets are going to be dropped into these books, and in addition, they could be really, really good reads. So for a free comic book, if you're able to get your hands on it, especially if you're a Star Wars fan, you might consider scooping this one up. The next book I want to mention to you is Free Comic Book Day 2021, Avengers/Hulk #1. This is from Marvel Comics. Here's the description. In a land beyond time, a shining tower stands, deploying its operatives across the multiverse to hold against the encroaching darkness. Who is the mysterious Avenger Prime, and how will his advent impact on the past, the present, and the very future of the mighty Avengers? Okay, so for this one, it's basically pretty straightforward to me. The main reason to want to pick this up is the line, who is the mysterious Avenger Prime? I don't know, but it sure does sound like a first appearance to me. And it sounds like it's a character that may have impact on the Marvel Universe at large. So once again, as with a lot of the books that I'm mentioning today, it sounds like there could be spec potential. Also sounds like it just might be a fun and entertaining read. So this is one that I would check out if I were you. The next book I'm going to mention to you is Free Comic Book Day 2021, Stray Dogs, issue #1. This is from Image Comics. Here is the description. For Free Comic Book Day, a special expanded edition of the hit Image series, Stray Dogs. Meet Sophie, a dog who can't remember what happened. She doesn't know how she ended up in this house. She doesn't recognize any of these other dogs. She knows something terrible happened, but she just can't recall. Wait, where's her lady? This Free Comic Book Day edition also features a brand new prologue, That Doggy in the Window, the unnerving story of the very first dog to ever come to the master's house. So it sounds to me like this is a reprint of issue #1 of Stray Dogs, which is cool. But what's especially noteworthy is this The fact that it features a brand new prologue, That Doggy in the Window, the unnerving story of the very first dog to ever come to the master's house. Stray Dogs has been a phenomena. Boy, like the Stray Dogs issue number 1, I think is going for something like $100 raw on eBay, and it's probably climbing. People who didn't pick up this book right away got interested in it big time eventually, and the values of it just shot up, and it's just been a phenomena. All the later printings, all the homage covers. This book is, I keep saying it, but it truly is amazing and a phenomena and what it's become. So this is a really exciting book to have available to you on Free Comic Book Day. And the fact that it has this new prologue, this book is likely to get adapted into some kind of movie, probably. And this new prologue is likely to be part of that movie, and this prologue will have the first appearance of this very first dog. So this book will have value or key potential if this series, a mini-series I should say, ever does end up as an animated movie on Netflix or something like that, which is probable if it hasn't already officially been announced. I actually might be behind on that information, but it seems inevitable if it isn't already in the works. I believe this book is already selling on eBay for like $10 a pop. So this is a book that you're going to need to get to your local comic shop for like early, like lining up well before they open if you want to get your hands on this book, because people are going to be asking for this book and they're going to be asking for it immediately. In addition, similarly, they're going to be asking the same things about my pick for Free Comic Book Day 2021. My pick for a book that I would request, if I could request just one free comic book this upcoming Saturday, that one comic book would be Enter the House of Slaughter, issue number 1 from Boom Studios. Here's the description. Are you ready to enter the House of Slaughter? In 2019, James Tynan IV and Werther Dell'Edera introduced the world to Erica Slaughter, the monster hunter who came to Archer's Peak, Wisconsin, to save the town's children from the monsters only she can see. But Erica is not the only member of the House of Slaughter. With nearly 500,000 copies sold, Something is Killing the Children has become a true comic phenomena. And this Free Comic Book Day, you are invited to enter the House of Slaughter, if you dare. Truly, they put phenomenon here. I was talking about phenomenon when it came to Stray Dogs. It's true of both of them. And this book is pretty cool. It's also selling, like I mentioned with Stray Dogs, on eBay already for $10. I know there are online retailers that say, hey, buy 5 copies of this from me for whatever amount of money, which is a little bit of a shady practice for a free comic book. But, when people see the opportunity to make money, they tend to jump at it, especially local comic shops, which have a hard time making money because their margins are so slim, which is why you should go, hopefully get one of these for free, and also purchase 1 or 2 things from the comic shop right there. Don't just pick up your free comic books and walk out. Try to do them a solid, especially if they're giving you these books for free, by saying thank you, by actually spending some money there. But back to this book in particular, Something is Killing the Children is so good. And this book, it's my understanding, from what I've read, focuses on the other side of phone conversations that Erica Slaughter had during the Archer's Peak saga, the first 15 issues of Something is Killing the Children, and kind of shows you what the other side of the conversation looked like and sounded like. In a lot of ways, this book is fan service to people like me who have been reading all of the issues of Something is Killing the Children. Will some context be lost for people who haven't read those issues already when they read this free comic book? Probably. There's also the promise of a cameo first appearance in this book. I'm going to admit something. I've seen this book. I've seen the inside of this book. There is a cameo first appearance in there, but as far as calling it like a first appearance, a cameo first appearance, it's pretty loose, but it's in there. So if the character that is there in a way does have any kind of popularity or any heat to it moving forward, then this will be the first cameo appearance. But regardless, it's going to be a great read. It's really enjoyable. It's attached to a fantastic series in Something is Killing the Children. It's also teeing up hopefully what is going to be another fantastic series, which is the spin-off of Something is Killing the Children, which is House of Slaughter, which will be coming out in October. And then, of course, it's having its secondary market value is one of the many, many reasons why I would recommend getting to your comic book shop early, once again, lining up in advance of them opening so that you can hopefully get your hands on this book and hopefully maybe one or two others as well of these free comic books. All right, well, that's my list for Free Comic Book Day. Like I said, there's a lot of good stuff out there. A lot of comic shops are going to limit the amount of free books that you're going to get. They're not going to let you choose, the 10 books that I just mentioned. They're like one of each. They're probably going to limit you to 2 or 3. Now, you could try to go around to multiple comic shops if you have them in your area and try to scoop up as many of them as possible. Good luck to you on that. But I can't necessarily blame them for limiting to 2 or 3 books because they want to make sure as many people are able to get free comic books as possible. They want to reward people who got out of their homes and came to the comic book shop on Free Comic Book Day. And that makes complete sense to me. But that being said, if you get to your shop and they don't have Stray Dogs and they don't have Enter the House of Slaughter, there's a lot of other great comic books. And even there's great comic books that I didn't even mention. Lots of fun stuff to read. And Free Comic Book Day is potentially about trying something out and trying something new. So there's a lot of that as well. I'll go ahead and put down into the description a link I have to the list of free comics that are coming out for Free Comic Book Day if you're interested in taking a look at the full list. All right, if you like this video, likes are appreciated by me. If you haven't subscribed already, I would invite you to subscribe and make sure you hit that notification bell because it's got a handful of Test Your Comic Book Grading Skill videos that are coming out that I think you might want to check out. As always, thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.